This morning's scripture is from 1 Corinthians 13. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. And the reading I've chosen is this poem by Denise Levertov titled Variation on a Theme by Rilke. A certain day became a presence to me, and there it was, comforting me. A sky, air, light, a being. And before it started to descend from the height of noon, it leaned over and struck my shoulders as if with the flat of a sword, granting me honor and a task. The day's blow rang out, metallic, or was it I? A bell awakened. And what I heard was my whole self, saying and singing what I knew. I can. The reason I chose the scripture for today is because it had a number in it. I enjoy numbers, and a fun fact to know about me is that I am usually always doing math in my head. Now, I know some of you may have misread that look on my face as deep thought, but really, no. I was probably just adding or multiplying something that had nothing to do with what was happening around me. Thinking mathematically has also helped me realize that it's actually not true that I have 120 things to do on my to-do list. Rather, I have 12 things that I've just thought about 10 times over and over again in the last 2 minutes. It's also a really rather useful skill to have mathematical thinking, especially when I'm helping an elder with bills and catch an unannounced internet increase or an overcharged doctor's fee. I've saved hundreds of dollars for friends and clients, although I'm embarrassed to say that after all this talk of math, I don't really have a solid number for you on that. Honestly, I've been thinking really deeply. No, really, it's true this time. I have been thinking deeply, but you probably haven't seen me do it, what with all the lack of in-person gatherings and all. I've been thinking about the 3-year plan that Tim Martin is going to talk about more in the seminar at 11:15 this morning. Hope to see you there. I've been thinking about it because I wonder, as more than one person has asked me, who releases a 3-year plan in the middle of a pandemic when things are uncertain and plans we make are changed nearly every single day? And another friend added, a 3-year lookout is really hard to imagine when every day is like crawling out into Groundhog Day. So, as a proponent of the 3-year plan, and to tie in this morning's scripture, I wrote a little chair about this. Are you ready? Who releases a 3-year plan in the middle of a pandemic? We do. Why do we do it? We're UCG and we have faith. Who imagines that nurturing spiritual development is possible when we are all isolated? We do. Why do we do it? We're UCG and we have hope. Who wants to enhance our opportunities for connectedness when there are clear social distancing guidelines? We do. Why do we do it? We're UCG and we love each other. And how the heck do we continue to make our church accessible when we're not supposed to hold large gatherings? Verse Church, Zoom, drive-thrus. We're UCG after all. If that doesn't get you excited about the 3-year plan and this morning's seminar, I understand. If I had more time, I might have asked Jerry Steinberg or Tracy Bachman or Talia and the youth groups to lead us in that, and I bet you'd be inspired then. So let's talk about plans for a minute. When I joined the staff 9 months ago, the Congregation Ministry Review Board was in the thick of its work on the 3-year plan, including a thoughtful and probing survey compilation and analysis. The plan for Priority Sunday was in process, including all of its logistics and supply gathering, and most important, the consideration of the right questions to ask based on what we'd learned so far from the survey input. Meanwhile, the search team was preparing for the important listening sessions conducted in February. There was a women's overnight planning team already in motion, and a Lenten meditation experiment being planned with a mini labyrinth rollout between services. And then there was time and talent on the calendar, and Shelby was coming for the summer, and Talia was making arrangements for that. And we just didn't imagine that a global pandemic was right around the corner. So yes, at UCG, planning is part of our DNA. We have faith in our plans and hope that they will be relevant and useful, and we approach them with an attitude of love, learning as we go to be flexible and to roll in different directions as needed. As a member of the CMRB subcommittee, I helped in the early process of crafting the 3-year plan. Selena and Rebecca joined me as we combed through dozens of pages of feedback. And then some themes started to emerge: spiritual nurture and growth, connection, youth, children, families, having a plan for our inevitable building improvements, and enhancing our communication about all of that. What CMRB and Church Council has decided to lift up from that are 3 priorities. 1, nurture spiritual development. 2, enhance our opportunities for connection. And 3, assess and develop a plan for increased accessibility. Now, Tim is going to talk more about the plan and its goals and specifics in the seminar this morning, but I just want to review for you a few of our past 3-year plans. In 2007 to 2010, the church focused on connections, children's programs, youth programs, focus for outreach programs, and spiritual nurture and practice. The 2011 to 2014 plan addressed issues of church growth, enhancing connections and communication, and continuing to strengthen our leadership and organizational structure. And our last 3-year plan aimed to create diverse opportunities for spiritual growth for all ages, to strengthen care for the congregation by the congregation across the life course, and to work for justice and transformation around issues of poverty, race, and environment. Similar themes certainly emerge with each plan. We are a church, so of course spiritual nurture is at the top of our priority list. We are a community, so of course we seek connection. And we gather in a place. So we want that to be a sound and welcoming home for us, safe and accessible for all. And we have a challenge before us because we are living in a time of unprecedented health risk. But that won't stop us from having a plan for living into the hopes and dreams and mystery that make us a united church community. The plan is going to ask for you to be involved in important ways. We are going to ask you to pay attention to yourself and your experience. I like to think of the plan as an opportunity for a self-study upon which your individual experience will build into a board and committee self-study, which will build into a church that self-reflects often on its programming and outreach, and with an awareness of who it wants to be and how it wants to be known to its members and friends and to the greater community. With this plan, we prioritize member participation in nurturing our own spiritual development. We experiment with and discover new ways to enhance our opportunities for connection. And we commit together to make the church and all it offers accessible for those who seek to be involved and to be known by one another. And so I echo back to St. Paul's letter to the people. For now we see only a reflection, as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these 3 remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Blessed be.
For a long time, these dreams and beginnings have been quietly forming, waiting until we were ready before they emerged. Now is the time to open our hearts, to see the gifts we've been given, and to awaken to the miracle of our lives. May we learn to see ourselves with the same delight and expectation with which God sees us in every moment.
May we bless our lives for all that we have learned, for all that we have loved, for all that has brought us to this time and this place. May we recognize the presence, the power, and the light of our souls. May we experience each day as a sacred gift woven around the heart of wonder.
As clay anchors a tree in light and in wind, may our outer lives grow from the peace that unfolds within us. Though our destinations are not yet clear, may we trust the promise of our dreams and our intentions. May we envision the grace of new beginnings that are at one with our life's desires.
May we have courage to see the new horizons that beckon us and to waste our hearts no more on fear. May all that is unlived in us blossom into a future graced with love. And may this time, today, be a cloak of love wrapped around each of us to bring us safely home. So may we come safely home this day, wrapped in a cloak of love for the days to come.